Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. Okay, so this just might be the beginning. So one of the things a lot of people have been talking about is how people are starting to wake up. Now, I'm making this on late night, April 6th, so this should get to you the day after the big, the solar eclipse. So this should get to you on the 9th. So one thing I want to say is this: when people, and if there is a mass awakening, it's gonna shatter a lot of people. Because, okay, for those of us who have been waking up over the I've been waking up since probably I was 21 or so, and I went through my first huge awakening when I was 28 years old. That lasted 6 months. For those of you who've been going through it for the last 4 or 5 years, this is good news. Because the more you wake up before the Great Awakening, the less it's going to affect you, the less traumatic, the less, etc. So what this means is you guys that have been going through this dark night of the soul, dealing with narcissists, you are the ones who are essentially going to be the pillars for other people. You're going to be the foundation for other people to look to. Now, for people like empaths, I'll speak for myself, is my awakening really was just really looking at the people that I loved and realizing they absolutely hated me with all their heart and soul, and they did some of the cruelest things, the meanest things, and there was no reason other than they were mad at me because I had this glowing light, because I'm a loving being, and they even said it to me. So our awakening wasn't about stuff that we did wrong and bad to people. It was being honest with ourselves, saying, hey, these people that you love with all your heart and soul, these people who you've allowed to beat you down and to hurt you and to even poison, drug you, run you over with cars, try to kill you, overdose you in the hospital, etc. These people don't like you. And that was I remember a therapist when I was young saying, hey, Michael, your family does not like you, and they're bad, and you need to get away from them. They're trying to hurt you physically. And I was like, what? I really got mad at her. And I had friends in 9th grade confront me, say, Michael, your family is not good for you. You got to get away from them. And I was like, what? And a really good friend of mine said that to me a year later, and I just kind of like, why would he say that? So it wasn't until I was in my early 20s, I think I was about 22-ish, something like that, maybe 21. A friend of mine from 8th grade and high school had just flat out pulled me out. He literally came over to my mom's place, walked down the hallway, grabbed my stuff, threw it out the window. Luckily his truck was parked right there, and threw all the stuff in the back of his pickup truck. Said, you're going to live with me. He goes, screw this, you don't need to go through this no more. And that was probably the greatest first experience I had to snap out of it. So the one rule that he gave me was, you can't talk to your family for 1 whole year. I'm like, why? He goes, I'm serious. He goes, if you talk to them, he goes, I'm kicking you out. I'm like, Jesus, all right. He goes, but why? He goes, you'll see it in a year. He goes, you'll understand. And so a year went by, and he goes, hey, today's the day. I'm like, oh, I got to move out. And he's like, no. He goes, you can stay for 5 more years if you want. You can stay as long as you want. I'm like, well, what's today? Your birthday? He goes, no. He goes, today's the day that you've been gone from your family for a year. So I went and saw my family, and the first couple days they were kind of nice and kind of walking on eggshells, and then the 3rd day they just started treating me like shit. So that was the first time in my life when I looked at my family like, wait, what? So when I went back to Greg's house, he said, you see it now, don't you? He goes, Michael, you thought that treatment was normal. He goes, they treated you like shit. That was not normal or healthy for a family to treat their son and their brother like that. So that was the beginning, and you would think that would have really woke me up. It didn't quite wake me up. It took quite a few more years to really wake up and see it, and even then I didn't want to see it. So here's my purpose in sharing that. Our healing wasn't about what we did to other people. our healing is what we allowed other people to do to us. My therapy wasn't about, oh, I'm this bad person. My therapy was all about, you need to have boundaries. You need to stand your ground. You need to speak up for yourself. You need to walk away from mean people. You need to learn self-love and build confidence off of that, etc., etc., etc. Whereas these other people, it's going to be harder. So here's the way I like to explain it, is we dealt with the demons outside of us, where they are going to have to deal with the demons inside them. So essentially we had to finally be honest with ourselves and just face the light and say, wow, all these people that I stood up for, supported for years, decades, from friends to family to whoever, neighbors, whatever, the whole time they were trying to destroy me. That is a reality we didn't want to face, because we had this belief that, oh, well, everyone's like me. Everyone's intention, they mean well, and they have my best interest in mind. No, they did not. Not at all. So the horror for us was realizing that we had surrounded ourselves with a bunch of really evil, literally demonic people that were trying to kill us, that were trying to destroy us mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, like life and death situations, etc. Well, theirs is completely opposite. They have to face themselves and realize, so with us it was like, the horror of, I loved all these people that were trying to destroy me. Theirs is the complete opposite. I tried, not me, but from their perspective, they're going to say to themselves, holy shit, I tried to destroy all these people who were surrounding me that loved me. It's a completely dark, opposite, reverse, backwards. I mean, can you imagine what it would be like to wake up and face yourself and be like, ever since I was a child, I did everything I could to hurt people. All these people that were trying to help me and be there and support me, and I destroyed them all, and I hurt them, and I destroyed all my relations. I mean, imagine facing yourself. I mean, that has got to be the worst, hardest thing in the world to do. Honestly, I didn't give that justice. It's so hard for me to see it from that perspective. Now here's the other thing they're going to have to face and look at in the light, is that they have clung to these lies. Not only the lies that they've made up, but the lies that the group that they belong to. I don't mean just the 5 or 6 or 10 people, but I mean their political group, their group of people that lie to the culture, to society, that have been damaging people. Like, they're going to have to face, reevaluate, and realize, wait, these are all lies that we made up. And they're going to also have to admit, on some level, they knew they were lying to themselves, and they knew that they were lying to each other and joining in on this group cultural lie. So this solar eclipse that's coming up, or actually will have happened the day before you get to this video, this may just be the catalyst that tips it over and everyone starts to wake up. And I don't think it's going to be like a sudden boom in like a split second or a minute or within an hour. I think it's just going to be a slow kind of memories kind of coming up and seeing them from the other side, the opposite perspective. It's like looking in the mirror, and it's going to have another one, then another one, and it's going to become clearer. This may take, I mean, who knows? It could be that first week where a lot of people start losing it. I'm just going to cuss a little bit here. They're going to start losing their shit, I think. And I think when they're standing in line at the grocery store, the littlest thing's going to make them flip out. I mean, I think it's going to be chaotic, and it could be really, really... Now, if you notice my voice, I'm actually excited. It's like, I don't mean that in a mean way at all, but it's kind of like everything, like we are in biblical times again. It's like they were 2,000 years ago, and then we left it, and we are in biblical times again right now. So number one, I'm excited about that because it's all coming to life, and it's like everything that I've been reading and studying. I was like, wait, this is real. This is real. Not only is it real, but it's really happening now in my lifetime. So to me, that's exciting. The other side of this coin is all these people. Yeah, it's going to be hard for them. I don't think that's funny at all. I think it is the final cascading, the final, like the final like drop of water that broke the dam. But the dam needed to be broken for everything to be released to begin the healing process. That's what I'm trying to say. And no, I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk. I don't think it's going to be all sunshine and rainbows, but I do think the process is going to begin to move forward so we can finally complete this whole thing that started back before the days of Jesus' birth. It's literally like the book of the Bible, the book of Revelations. We are in the final book of the Bible. So put on your jeans, put on your t-shirt, put on your gloves, and put on your boots because it's time to start working. We're going to have to dig deep and get this thing going. So the most important thing you can do is really work on your breathing exercises, the hot breathing especially, stretching, and just really learning how to be a grounded individual and focus on being hydrated and getting protein and fresh fruit and vegetables so you get natural vitamins, healthy live vitamins inside your body. Another thing that you get out of live fruit and vegetable is, I might be saying the wrong word, but I believe it's bioflavonoids, like live energized bioflavonoids, where when you get, now they've improved, by the way, our vitamins and minerals, they are improved from like say the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Like you get a lot more life out of that, but you still need to eat some actual live fruit and vegetables. It's very important. So one of the things that I want to point out to you right now is you have suffered quite a bit, and you suffered alone, and you know I made a video a while back. We are the pathfinders. You are the first in and the last out. So essentially you have been forged in the fire. You've gone through the deep end. You've gone through the fire. You've been forged. It was not a comfortable experience. It was a very painful experience. It was a very dark experience, and for the most part, I think YouTube helped a lot of us. But for the most part, you were alone. I mean, yeah, you're typing on YouTube to someone you can't even hear their voice. You can't see their face. Like maybe you can hear my voice, and on the videos in the past, I was doing it live with my face. But you didn't have someone in your home or next door that you could go talk to that actually understood what was going on. As children, most of us were physically and violently abused. I was very much so physically and violently abused for a long, long time. And then as I became an adult, they couldn't physically do it, so they started doing it psychologically. They started doing it socially. They did the gang stalking. They did all that stuff. And a lot of you, essentially, you are what's called generational curse breakers. You finally snapped out of the generational curse that just went on and on from generation to generation. The abuse cycle, the narcissist cycle, the turning children into narcissists, and then the other ones were there to be abused, the empaths, and destroyed and blamed, and just the energy sucked out of them. And you were a child, and nobody was there for you. You didn't even know how to explain it to people, even if you could have. And so no one stood up. So you went through a lot. You were literally forged in the fire. These other people, they weren't forged in the fire. They lived in La La Land. Literally, they lived in La La Land. They were in complete denial. They joined the lie. They joined the abusers. And they themselves have no clue how to deal with what you've had to deal with since you were 1 year old. And now, Shazam, they have to. They're not prepared. They don't know what's going to hit them. They don't know how to deal with it. This is going to literally be a 220 mile an hour hurricane that sweeps through their entire life, and it's not going to last for 2 or 3 or 4 days. It's going to last for years, and a lot of them are going to completely collapse and be destroyed emotionally. And by the way, over the last 4 years or so, a lot of them are starting to peek out and look out. You know, like it's like pulling the curtain, peeking out. Oh God! You know, and here's the deal: they are realizing now how strong you've always been. In fact, here's probably the flip side of the coin: you are just now starting to realize, holy shit! I didn't have any support. I didn't have these people. I didn't have a group of friends. I didn't have that. And they're going to be like, how am I going to deal with this? Here is the irony of all of this. The Rock of Gibraltar that they want to lean on, the pillars of society, the strength, the broad shoulders, is you. You're the one that they're going to have to turn to help them get through this. Number one, I do not mean the friends and families that have hurt you in the past. Do not let them come back. You are not the one to help them. They will not respect you. They will not listen to you. It will not make a difference. Number two, you have to be strict. You have to be disciplined. These are the masters and manipulators. They're going to try to use you to block out their reality. They're going to try to play the game. They're going to try to play the bullshit. Do not let them do that. Cut these people off. Again, I'm not even talking about family members and exes and people from the past. I'm talking about other people that are going to be collapsing all around you. The best thing you could do for someone who's completely collapsing is be the Rock of Gibraltar. Be that pillar. Meaning, don't fall for the poor me game. Don't fall for the manipulation. See, if you do that, now they're going to get more scared because they're going to be like, dude, there's no support anywhere. Everyone's falling apart. Look at this guy. I can manipulate him and whip him left and right. You cannot do that because now they're going to be like, there's no foundation. There's no pillars. There's no Rock of Gibraltars anywhere. Once they start doing this, call them on it hard. Shove it in their face. Number two, if they don't stop, walk away. Cut them off. Believe it or not, but that will give them and show them that there is a solid foundation on the planet still. And even though you cut them off, they're going to realize there's still people on the planet that are holding strong. So one thing I've been mentioning in the last few videos is we are not going to continue to go through hell, this dark night of the soul thing. It's going to be easier to transition from learning to learning now. It's not going to be like going through the birth canal again or being planted and just being in darkness and, you know, for months at a time. That phase is pretty much over for most of us and soon all of you. So number one, I want you to know that you're not going to continue to go through this hell. Okay. Number two, I want you to realize the reason why you went through it before everyone else is because they are going to need a beacon of light. They're going to need to be around someone who's been through it, who knows how to make it through, who understands it. Because they themselves, they're not strong like you. They were not forged like you. And the thing is, like, what do you mean? Like, Mike, yeah, I know you fell apart, but you never stopped. You kept going. You know, another thing you don't realize, over the last year or so plus, there have been people that have been throwing dark energy at you, meaning dark spells, evil eye, and it's gotten less and less and less because your energy has developed and expanded and grown, and the vibration level is at such a high level. You are literally transmuting all that energy being thrown at you, all that negative energy, spell work, spell casts, you know, black magic, dark magic, all that stuff, and you are transmuting that into positive energy. This is why a lot of you may have noticed like your energy levels are picking up again. You're transmuting energy and you don't even realize you're doing it. So again, you can expect to be coming out of this hell eventually, okay? Because you are here to help people to shift from where they're at, to come out of this sleepiness into consciousness, into finally waking up and being aware of what's really going on. You're here to help them make the difficult choices, meaning to choose love. Before they chose drugs, they chose getting high, they chose cigarettes, they chose hurting people, they chose revenge, they chose the easy way out, which was never really the easy way out. It was just destroying them, and it was destroying the people that were around them, the people that loved them. They were not making the right choices. They were not making what we would call the difficult choices. Make the right choice and do the right thing. You are both warriors, healers, and guides. Your job is to be strong. You are essentially going to be dealing with children. And they need you to be that strong, firm, grounded parent who lives by a sense of righteousness, a sense of heart, a sense of strength. See, love is strength. It doesn't mean that you become wishy-washy. You have to hold your boundaries, because then it will show them boundaries. And the number one thing that these people need, narcissists and people like that, is they don't even know what boundaries are. So you have to hold that as a symbol, as a teaching for them to be like, oh, that. So I don't want you to think that the universe is against you through this process, because it isn't. That's why I started this video out with about the darkness and the pain and what we went through. You had to go through that to become a stronger person, a stronger being, a stronger guide. Without you really knowing it or being aware of it or being told, what the universe was putting you through was for your best interest and for the human race's best interest. It really was always on your side. So, while you were going through this, it was like it had its hands down on both your left and right side, guiding you the entire time. And even there were times when you just wanted to run away. It wouldn't let you. It's like, no, you have to go down this path. This is why you are here. So yeah, you're right. You can shout it to the heavens. What you went through was harder than what anyone else had ever gone through. Your tormentors, the flying monkeys, the people that watched you go through what you went through, the people that put you through it, they are going to be in absolute awe of you when they start to go through it themselves. They're going to look at you like, how did you do this? They are just now realizing what they put you through. They had no idea how hard it was. You are going to be admired by a lot of people. So your purpose is now to be the pillars and the beacons of light to guide the rest of humanity. That's why we have been spread throughout the entire world. That's why a lot of us don't have one single person that lives right next door. You might have one person in town that you don't even know is just like us. So we are spread around the world to help everyone around. So personally, and I know a lot of you felt this way, you felt like, why am I going through this? Why me? What did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong. You were being trained, you were being forged, you were being turned into the warrior, light healer that you are. So the reason why your purpose is now finally being revealed to you is because you're finally ready to hear it because of what's going on in the world. Because look, I already know this, and I've told you about your purpose. If someone told you your purpose 6 months ago, a year ago, you would have been angry, you would have been pissed, you would have been like, I don't see it, it doesn't make sense, this is BS, why am I being punished? You weren't being punished. You were being forged, you were being trained. So the reason why you're being told your purpose now is because it makes sense, because you can see what's going on in the world, and you are finally realizing all those people that lock down in their logical left brain, oh, spirit's not real, emotions are not real, like they're all cracking at the seams, and you can see it now. It literally is divine timing. Your purpose is to help the human race, to help humans make that leap, to take that giant jump into consciousness. Okay, that's it, guys. God bless you. Thank you for listening to this. If you haven't already, click subscribe, click the like button, make a comment, and there's a donation link, a PayPal link right there down in the description box if you'd like to make a donation. Other than that, God bless you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Things are heating up, and I'm excited, and I hope you are too. I hope you see the light, because that's what's coming.